My first mentor charged me $4,000 for 4 hours. And then half the time we ate lunch. So I was thinking, like, even as we're eating lunch, I couldn't enjoy my meal because I was going, I just paid her $4,000 for 4 hours. And it feels like we haven't even worked but an hour in here, right? And so halfway through that session, I'm sitting across, I love her, I respect her so much. And now I understand what happened, right? But I didn't at that time. And I thought, oh my God, what have I done? So I left crying. I finished the session with her. I left, I was crying. I thought I had made the biggest mistake of my life. And then I had to put things in perspective. Kind of this thing, right? I went through, well, Nicole, you know where you were when you walked in the door. Worst case scenario, you're out of $4,000 and you don't make it, right? But I'm looking at her history, I'm looking at her track record, I'm looking at the other clients that she's worked with. And so that was a year that we broke the 7-figure mark, right? We did an additional, I think, $250K in revenue. And I know that it was directly related to the information that she shared with me. So I say that because for a few moments, I did the same thing. I went into my head game and like, oh my God, what did I do? You know, and that was only, well, I say only now, right? But back then it still seemed like a lot, it still seemed like a lot, and I didn't understand. But the nuggets of information she gave me are things that I use continually now. And when I tell you, anytime I get to bless or bless, I do, right? And that's been many years ago, because that same information has paid me over and over and over again. Well, what I identified when I started mentoring and kind of working with entrepreneurs on varying levels is that a lot of times, because it wasn't about her at all, but I get that now, like it was about me, like, oh my God, this is new. It's the fear. Well, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? And so the easiest thing was, well, I'm going to make her my target, because there's always somebody listening that goes, did I make the right decision? You know, am I doing the right thing? And then I always say, you know, you got to weigh it. You have to weigh it for yourself. And so our model here, we always step back and let you go figure it out, because you have to trust the process, and it will not work unless there's a collaborative effort. Ultimately, we want the same thing as you, but you've got to be willing to say, okay, I do believe, I've seen the results, and I know that this can work for me too. I've seen it work for other people.